Try me, bitch.
Oh no!
Nice shot!
Waltz is an extremely fun game, and it makes me so happy to see so many people enjoying it. However, that'll came at a cost of the difficulty of the game, which is in comparison a lot easier, mainly because of the new tools they give us, like the circuit or the focus mode. However, as someone who really enjoys the challenge of hunts, I decided that I simply wouldn't upgrade my armor, managing to get through the low rank without too much difficulty. However, we are now in high rank, where we not only get extra monsters, but the leather plus set, the first and only armor upgrade we'll use, which will need to serve us for the entire game, and I mean all of it. So, let's see how it goes. So, last we left off, we finished lowering, only really struggling with Uduna, Raydal, the Guardian de Shaguma, surprisingly, and the Guardian Arcville. And having bits of Shia, we now get our first high rank hunt. This first hunt tends to be pretty easy in most games, because even with higher damage and health numbers, these monsters don't really stand a chance against endgame low rank armor. I think you can see the issue. To unlock the high rank armor, we first need to clear this quest, which is this goofy little bird. This PS4, because why wouldn't we? But yeah, we'll need to get to this with our low rank armor, which basically means that if it looks at me wrong, I will crumble. But yeah, for the most part, it's not really that hard. Its attacks, while fast, are not anything too out of the ordinary. Meanwhile, its fireballs deal a lot of damage, but are pretty easy to dodge. Either way, it is pretty uneventful, up until I'm able to chase it down to the lower areas, where I get very much sniped by it midair, which as per usual happened right before it became tired and I could capture it. I don't know how this always happens, but that's what it is. And with that beaten, we're able to finally make our new armor set. So, what's next? Well, to unlock more things in high rank, we'll first need to raise our hunter rank, which is split into two things. The first are quests to remove your level cap, usually introducing a new element into the game, like new conditions for the monsters, or even just straight up new monsters as well. Our first one is the former. Basically, we need to take out a spider, which is infected with the virus called the Frenzy. Now, this mission pulls double duty, since it introduces a new arena as well. So, how does it go? Especially compared to the last fight we just did. Oh, so easy. Its stacks were not dealing too much damage, essentially letting me go through the entire fight without needing to heal at all. Add to that arena maps are usually meant to favor you, although even then it felt like it died way too quick. Maybe the virus makes them more aggressive but also gives them less health? I don't know. However, something that does make this all a lot easier is the fact that this armor gets to have armor skills. Now, it doesn't get that many, nor some of the stronger ones, but they'll definitely be pivotal further into the game, considering how many monsters they already are teasing to come in the future, especially considering I'm still editing my first playthrough from when the game came out. But yeah, if you want to catch up on everything that's happened so far, feel free to click on this video I'm linking above, or you can check the playlist in the description. And hey, while you're down there, feel free to drop a like if you're enjoying the video so far, or subscribing if you enjoy this type of content. Y'all's support really means the world to me. Our community keeps growing day by day, so let's keep it up, shall we? Thanks! Now, where were we? Oh, that's right, ranks. Now that we're past the rank cap until the next one, the only thing we can really do is hunt. Basically, we need to play until we get to the next hunter rank, where the next cap quest is. However, the most fun area, in my opinion, the ruins of Iberia, is locked at this point, and sadly we're reduced to the lower end of monsters. However, this is a great opportunity to clear out some side quests, which basically go from upgrading your palico to unlocking helps in hunts, like the tactical anti-spider spiderweb. But for the most part, it's all pretty simple, and isn't long where we're sent back to the ruins of Iberia. There we get introduced to the returning tempered monsters, which are just the same monsters but even tougher, and to my genuine surprise, the also returning Vulgar Angina in a new Guardian variant, which makes it a variant of a variant. Anyways, this is one of my favorite fights in Iceborne, just like Angina was one of my favorite fights in World. So the second the game lets us actually fight these two monsters, I make a beeline for it. I gotta say that I really like how the synergy between this monster goes with the will crystal circle around the area, and it can create, making it even more dangerous to approach it. However, Angina is a pretty straightforward monster, and one that I've learned to fight pretty well. So aside from a few questionable plays, and the high of having an armor set that is current, very much getting abruptly ended, we're able to capture it without too much trouble. After that, we go to the spider, whack it a few times, turn it into a pizza, and capture it as well, which then removes another level cap. From here, I continue doing side quests, unlocking a new cat ability, as well as another hunting aid, which will need us to hunt a guardian Dushaguma. However, as we head out to hunt it, I end up coming across a rather familiar sight. Now, this is the first rathalos I see in game, not counting the guardian rathalos, because there's something cool about the OG one, you know? So I decided that, why not? Let's hunt it. However, what I didn't notice, mainly because I didn't really fight the spider last time, and because I didn't look at the minimap, was that this is a tempered rathalos, so practically everything it did hurt. To be honest, it's even harder fighting this than the guardian version, because you can't really use crystals against it, and it feels like it bulwarks through your attacks way more, so that might just be a temper trait. But for the most part, I'm able to use my knowledge of fighting other rathalos, which at least lets me know where are good places to run away, letting me hold up pretty well, up until I see him do this. Now, being completely honest, I have no idea what this was, and because I was coming out of an attack, I didn't really have that many options, so I had to pick a direction to dodge. The direction I chose was backwards, and I chose bad, literally my entire health bar. So yeah, I had to try it again. I'm even able to chase it around the map, and not die again while still dealing a good amount of damage on it, up until the power went out. So I would need to redo this hunt again. Thankfully, the rathalos is back there again when I reload the hunt, and this time it goes way smoother, which is not to say that it was easy. I still was getting hit really hard, but by playing a lot more carefully and knowing what direction I should dodge the insta-kill attack, I'm able to fully take it out without actually fainting, only to get bodied by the Shaguma. I don't know what it is, but it tends to catch me off guard, but once I come back, it really is just a little bit more of extra damage I needed until I'm able to capture it. Obviously after helping the person test out their thing. After all, that was the entire point of this. Which puts us not even close. We'll need another hunt for this. So I decided to go against the Autogorn now that we're in high rank. I gotta say, it feels like it uses its dragon element a lot more frequently, and is way more aggressive, making it feel closer to World's Ebony Autogorn. It gets me low a good amount of times, but overall, it's still fairly easy, leaving us to the next quest in the story. Basically, Ralph tells us that the monster that we fought here before, the Jin Dahaad, is causing problems again. But this time, there's two differences. First, we don't have Olivia to help us, and second, we need to actually slay it, whereas last time we just had to repel it. So this time we'll need to make do. Now, the beginning part goes fairly standard. Its attacks are slow and easy to dodge, but if they hit, they will deal tons of damage. But since they're so large, sometimes it's easier to perfect guard them, which either goes really well, or one thing that I am trying out here, however, is the Innovation Mantle. Now, it's not even nearly as good as a Temporal Mantle is, but as someone who really relies on dodging, it really helps, while also giving a nice damage boost when you do it right. However, it very much backfired a good amount of the times. I still need more practice with it. But yeah, after doing more damage to it, and focusing on some of the ridges, we're able to push it to the next arena. On that part, we're able to use the Hirabami that are just sleeping there, and use it to distract it for a bit so we can give them more damage. However, I have way more close calls in this area, probably because it's a lot more closed in. Also, it felt like it was more beam happy, but I don't know, I'm not really sure about it. But after a bit, we're able to push it to the last area we saw last time. Now, I prefer this arena to the last one because of the better visibility, and with all the little rocks all around, it really lets you add on damage a lot easier from a distance. When it arrives, it doesn't take long to go up the pillar, so we just bring it back down, dealing a lot of damage, and even dealing enough where we're able to knock it down, getting even more damage, forcing it into a Nova attack. However, I didn't recognize the attack at first. You could even see me rolling around aimlessly. And so last such attempt I tried to dive away, but it very much did not work. The game even spells it out for me here when I die. Now, while I was at camp, I decided to do something. Earlier, when I had hunted the rathalos, I unlocked the ability to hunt it, which went a lot easier compared to the tempered one we fought. However, it did give me enough material to be able to craft its weapon. So I don't know what clicked exactly, but I decided to switch to it. Probably because I put together that fire good against ice. Yeah, that's the level you probably all come to expect from me, to be honest. Now, as I'm coming back, I do notice something. In the mission details, it says the optional to use the wall and drop it on the thing's head. So when I come back, I instantly lead it towards it, instantly knocking it down and letting me getting a lot of extra damage for free, even being enough for it to retreat to its last area. Now, in this area, it instantly went up to the pillar again, letting us drop it down and get a lot of free extra damage. And this time, I was focused on using the rocks to deal damage to it, as well as keeping track of where they were. I noticed just that they stick around long enough. Especially this time where, as I was dropping it on him to deal damage, it went to go to do its Nova attack. So I had it covered right there. However, it did not go as smoothly as I had thought. One of the more usual ways to avoid a monster is to run away from it, and definitely a habit of mine that really got exacerbated by the circuit. So each time I took damage, I would get on the circuit and keeping my distance while I healed. However, there's a problem with that, because this monster can simply just beam you from a distance. Now, the beam is pretty slow and telegraphed, so you would think they're easy to dodge, right? Anyways, I drive straight into it and instantly die. Now, this leaves us with only one feint left, which means that if I get caught by any one of those attacks again, or get one shot, it's game over. So we head back in for one last go. Anyways, a few seconds after I get back, I am already back in red health, so... And right after that, it freezes me in place with this attack that I didn't recognize. Thankfully, it couldn't follow up with anything, and I was able to get back on my circuit. At this point, I wasn't gonna get any more lucky than I already had been, since I got back. So all I could do was try not to die. So with one more jump in, I tried to do just that. With that, they were able to fully take it out. Now, was this easy? I'd say no, but I wouldn't say it was really that hard either. Especially considering that a lot of the difficulty I had was admittedly self-inflicted. And I don't mean my armor, I mean, you know, we hadn't had a fill yet though. And given how already the armor I'm using has become obsolete once more, I am excited to see which is the first wall I'll hit. But for the most important part, this has been a really fun challenge for me. It is definitely spicing up the whole process of playing through this. And I can't wait to see how far I can take it before I genuinely just struggle to go on. Will the next monster gauntlet that comes ahead stop me? Well, you'll need to find that out next time. But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. This has been a roller coaster, to be honest. The support you guys have shown this channel is really inspiring to me. It really motivates me to keep trying to do my best with all of this. And given how we're already getting so many huge reveals for the free title updates, yeah, I am so excited to see where all of this goes. But for now, that's pretty much all I have to say. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, or subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, or would like to see how the series goes, or join our Discord server, which will be in the description, and just generally vibe as we play games every so often, as well as doing community hunts here and there. But aside from all that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, see ya!